Hi everyone, welcome to Bidanya's World. And today I have a special guest. And I'm so excited she was able to make it because she's super busy. And you will know how busy she is. And it's Maureen Waititu. I hope I pronounced that well.
Yes.
Okay, because me with names. Maureen, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm truly honored for you to actually take time to be here.
Yeah.
And I know I called you 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we got busy last weekend, and also you were very busy.
Yes.
So just you being here, it's an honor.
Yeah.
And you're my first guest. You know, not talking about my mom and my family.
Oh yeah.
But you're my first guest.
Yes.
And I remember the times we met, and we just spoke about this before we started. We met in 2019, and it was Estee Lauder.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Yeah, we took a photo together, and from that we've just been supporting each other, offline, online, and it's just amazing what you do. And I really want people to hear more about what it takes being you, because you are huge. I mean, not just talking about your following, over 700,000, almost a million. So guys, I'm in the midst of and you're a mom with 2 beautiful boys. Like both of us, I think we've gone through quite a lot in terms of life, you know, and I've seen you not use that as something to put you down. I've seen you grow both spiritually, mentally, and you're so humble. And that's one thing I really love about you, and how you're able to maintain that humility is something also I love my followers and also the people viewing to know, how do you do that? But the reason why I started this podcast was because of you. It was because of Maureen.
Yes.
Because every time I met Maureen, she was like, B, where's this juicing club? When are we juicing?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I was spamming your Instagram post every time. I'm like, okay, you better know I'll be your first customer. Yeah. Because you're my hero in so many ways.
Oh, thank you.
You, just like me, we've been through so much, but we've actually taken the most out of that.
Yes.
And used our strength to carry on. So I guess it's just one soul identifying another. Even though I didn't even know you from a personal level, we connected so well. And I just kept thinking, maybe it's the Kikuyu in me. I'm seeing a business. And of course, it's evident, you know, from your appearance. You're so serious about taking care of your health. And like I was telling you before we started rolling, we don't have to wait for for tragedy to strike for us to take care of ourselves. Gone are the days where, you know, they used to write off, you know, a 30-year-old woman, a 40-year-old woman. Now that's an old woman. You know, and I've watched and seen you grow. Like, I've read your story so many times. I obviously used to see you in magazines. And you know, I was very passionate about modeling myself, of which I did. But then there's this girl who keeps fighting and showing up, and finally I meet her at a luncheon in 2019, and just the first hello, I can say the rest has been history. But I'm so proud of you.
Oh, I'm so honored, and thank you. I mean, it's really touching, and I keep on saying, in life we have people, and I call them angels, that they tell you things that you might not, maybe you're aware of, but they tell you things to motivate you to go forward. Because as human beings, at times we're very comfortable. We don't like change. We don't like being pushed to levels. But there are people out there who see your potential, and you saw my potential in terms of that. So in 2019, we took photos, we kept in touch. Then in 2020, it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We keep on linking up in Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
I guess it's usually like our date.
I know it's our date. And within 1 hour, we're together, we're talking, and it's deep conversation. It's really deep, not superficial conversations that we're having. We haven't spoken for a while, but we're catching up like we spoke just the other day. And that's when you say, be the juicing club. When is it starting? Call me. I'll be your first one. I will even call people for you.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is something I'm still working on. And of course, will be the first one too.
Yes.
And then I remember last year again, it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month with Estée Lauder.
Yes.
Because we work on the campaigns together.
Yes.
She was like, B, I think you should start a podcast now. I'm Maureen.
Yeah.
Do you need help? Can I send someone to you? I have a videographer. I'm also doing something.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, literally, I was, you know, I think, of course, growing from 2019, podcasts were not really a thing. Yeah. And then I'm looking at you again, the Kikuyu news, like, people want to see a lifestyle. Why don't you make the juices as you talk to us? Have a guest, show us what to do with the few ingredients, you know, that we have at home. Yes. Because I think as Kenyans especially, we don't like our fruits and veggies. Yes. But we like our juices. Yes. And if it tastes good, so be it. Yes, yes. But it may not, let me tell you, this is huge for you. Yeah. Just seeing you having this team, starting the conversation and doing it, it has taken off. Everything will shape up the way it should. This is what was needed, the beginning. And here you are. So
thank you so much.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, so now we're here and we want to hear more about you.
Wow.
Yes. Maureen, you're very fascinating. Like I say, you have this huge following, so you're in the public eye. Yeah. So anything you do, it's either going to be criticized or it's going to be celebrated.
Yes.
And I keep on saying mental health is something we need to talk about. How are you able to navigate that? Because I know you probably do have bullies, you have people who just do not like you. We have people called monitoring spirits. And monitoring spirits, what they do is they're just there to see what you're doing. Yeah. And then they try bad mouthing or putting a negative on anything that you do. Yeah. So how are you able to handle that?
So that's a very good question. When it happened to me, the first time, I did not see it coming. It just fell on me and it was coming from all directions. And for a minute there, I was like, what's going on? Honestly, I could pride myself with the way I started my social media as a gentle soul, that anything you could draw from me is inspiration or information and sometimes humor. Yes. To becoming, I guess, the most hated person at that point and being called so many names. And I think maybe my trauma response has shut some of them down, but there are some I'll never forget. To slipping into severe depression to a point where I remember when I was going to see not even a psychologist, a psychiatrist. That day, I was like, either I make it or I don't make it. And so I see him and he tells me, you're in such bad shape. If I tell you, my hair was falling off. That's how bad I was. I was gone. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. I was on autopilot. And I would notice things like, I'll go, for instance, to the mall, say Westgate, and I get out of the car and I don't close the door. Wow. And when I come back, I find security guards there, and they're like, is this your car? I'm like, yeah, what's happening? And I couldn't explain. To getting full-blown anxiety attacks and all that. But thankfully, when I went to see this doctor, I remember after assessing me and, you know, doing all these things they do, he said, you're in such bad shape, I can't let you go. I told him, I have work tomorrow.
Life has to move on.
I have work tomorrow and I have 2 kids waiting for me. Yeah. So please, keep me alive. That's all I need, because I'm not ashamed to say that I was actually suicidal. Yeah. And he did put me on a regimen, and he warned me that I was going to struggle for a few days. Let me tell you, I was doing this show. Funny enough, I was doing a show about empowering mothers. Yes. And it was called Minji Minji. Yeah. And that particular day, I didn't tell anybody that I was struggling, because the effects of the medication would make me very sleepy and very nauseated. So I would talk to the mic, hi, my name is Maureen, Waititu, da, 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 da. And then I get a bucket and go like, wow, you know, it's just, yeah. Then when we are resting, I would have to sleep. But I pulled through.
Yeah.
That's, honestly, it goes down to my personality. My kids, there's no way I was going to give up because of them.
On them, yeah.
God, and a very, very amazing community. Yeah. At some point, I wasn't even handling my social media. Someone else would be on the other end. As long as I'm sleeping, then they rest. When I'm awake, because they don't know what I'm going to see. Yes. So they really covered me. They would delete, you know. Yes. There are times I could respond to bloggers and they delete quickly. And they all call a conference call and they talk to me. I don't know what I would have done without those friends. And then slowly by slowly, I started getting into a space, okay. So at first I wasn't fighting it. I was just like, okay, one day everything will show up. Then it became so bad where I had to speak. The one and only one time I've ever spoken. Yes. And I guess some people understood. Because sometimes we say silence can be more harmful. Yeah. Because we say if you keep quiet and you don't say anything, but sometimes it can be harmful. Yes. And that day I was like, let me put this to an end. Yeah. And I can tell you it stopped. But has it stopped fully? Really? No. I know dedicated pages that are on other places, and women, especially women, I don't get it. Sad. You know?
Well, our worst enemies, unfortunately.
Completely. Yeah. And they would say some very mean things, and it would come out of nowhere. As early as through the protests, Maureen has said something, and then they make it personal, and you can tell, okay. So I realized, first of all, it's a projection, and altogether, I decided not to ever read. I blocked every blogger, anything that is not mainstream, and I don't go searching for my name because there'll always be somebody who is saying something. Exactly. And I found peace of mind from that. Yeah. But of course, I don't worry too much because I know myself. So that even when I see something, I'll be like, ouch. But I'm like, of course, it's just a what? Projection. Yeah. And it's a wonder. I usually say they should wonder when they're saying that, oh, she looks like she's a kept woman. I'm like, do you know how hard I work?
Oh, yes.
You know?
So
yes. Come over here. Ask me to show you how I do it.
Come behind the scenes. Thank you. Today, I know you have quite a lot and you're able to just make it here. And last week, you also told me, B, I have this in the morning, but I'll try.
Literally.
Can you imagine?
I was, 1 minute I was a mom, the next time I had to go to become, And it was a big day. And of course, what I've done, I've also simplified my life. I live the narrow and straight path. Yeah. I do not complicate anything. Yes. My yes are yeses, my no's are no's. Yeah. I have
no maybes.
No maybes. Yeah. It's I wouldn't even explain. No is enough. I can't do it. Yeah. Sorry. Of course, there's a lot of growth and very intentional in terms of learning. Yes. So I spend a lot of my days consuming things that will teach me, especially with parenting, my spiritual life, understanding the world, of course, how to be better, how to make, wealth and all that. Yeah. And some places I'm just an infant, some I'm figured out. Yeah. Somehow we keep going.
I love that. Yeah. And there's somewhere I read, or there's a saying that you might be, you could be, or you are probably the sweetest peach, but the people don't like peach. True. They prefer apples.
It's true.
Not everyone has to love you and like you.
Absolutely.
But you have to love yourself. Yeah. Yeah, that's the most important.
That's the most important. And if you don't, basically, you're just inviting, whatever it is that's out there. Yeah. Yeah.
And one thing I also learned about my cancer journey when I was going through that is the element of maintaining positivity. Yes. So you have to embrace those who are positive. Yes. The negative guys, just cut them out. Yeah. Anyone that brings negative thoughts to you or negative things, you need to cancel it out. Yeah. some people might be thinking you're living in your own world, but it's important because negativity has energy.
Yeah.
And the minute you embrace it and tolerate it, you start becoming negative. Yeah. So that is also what I learned. And, you know, at times I used to be upset, annoyed. Yeah. And I don't tell people when I'm upset, annoyed. I used to keep it in. And when you keep something in, actually it kills you more. And that's why you had to speak out. You have to voice it out and tell people. Yeah. This is it, because words have power. Voicing your thoughts have power. So yeah, I also had to learn that. I mean, if I don't like you, if you don't like me, we move on.
I mean, I've been saying personally, and to reflect on what you're saying, I'll take you as you are and I'll reject you as you are. Yeah. It's simple.
Yes.
Just because you're everybody's bestie doesn't mean you can be mine.
Exactly.
I'll take you as you are and I'll also reject you as you are.
So you have to be very selective.
Exactly.
You bring in your space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. And how are you so humble, darling?
Humble.
How? I find you so humble. Even everyone here can say you're very humble. Humble, I mean, being who you are, what you've been able to do. I mean, you walk into a room, everyone knows you. I mean, we've been in places together and everyone just goes, hello, Baloo, Maureen is here, blah, blah, blah. You know, everyone wants to come and say hi, take photos. But you're so humble. You know, there's some people be like, no, I don't want a photo right now, not like that. But you just, and then you speak to people, you smile. I mean, honestly, I've met a few people I can't mention and they're Hollywood actresses. And when they come to events and it's like, I'm just here for 2 minutes, 5 minutes and I'm out.
Yeah.
But how do you maintain that?
It's a mindset. And I know for a fact, people are wealth. And in as much as we're rejecting, the ones we're rejecting, the ones we accept are wealth. Yeah. If I meet somebody or I'm in a situation like this, I'm a team player. I'm not bigger than life. I bleed red like any other person. True. But I can tell you, I don't think in my head I've processed that I don't know, that Maureen Waititu. Yeah. I'm just Maureen. Yeah. Mama Kai, Mama Lexi. Yes. Even at home, I'll come downstairs, start chatting with the security guard. Yeah. I'm mama selling my indie passes. I'm like, bring. Yeah. It's how people are awesome. Yes. Especially when you have the energy within you, you just pull the right people. And you'll be so surprised. We all need each other. Yes. Like in this room, everybody has a role, however small it is. Yeah. And why dismiss them just because they're not the ones, you know, holding the big camera or whatever? I don't get it. It's, again, it goes down to mentality. Because how I was raised... Was I raised humble? I don't know. I think I even raised myself.
Oh, really?
I've always been very independent from a very young age. Yeah. I look at my sons and I'm like, you guys used to be able to make chapati at your age. but I think at the end of the day, it's, I mean, come on. Sit down. Yeah. Let, you know, these are people like you. I could meet that security guard who you know, snobbish towards. I could meet him one day. Really, yes. But that's not the mentality I have. However, I just love people, and I'm a team player. Yeah, legit team player. Yes. Yeah, if you tell me right now, hide over there. Yeah.
And let's talk about your spiritual journey.
Wow.
How is that and when did it start? Because I'm also very spiritual. I mean, I believe in God. I believe in prayer. I've seen it, what it does, what it's done in my life and my family life and everything, you know, I put it in prayer. Yeah. So talk about your spiritual life.
Where do I even start?
Tell me about your boys.
Oh my goodness. Where do I start? Everybody wants a piece of me, and I just want a break. I go this corner, I find my son waiting for me there. Yeah. Oh, Mama Kai, this has to be done, and I'm like, I just want a break.